Alright, so a few of you guys asked if I could watch over the replay, and I said I'd make a video over this. I already recorded this once throughout the whole thing and didn't realize that audio was not turned on, so I had to re-record this, so it definitely gives me like 3 video overviews to find out what was going on with everybody. Just to give a quick example once we get started here, we know that we are going to send... Oops, going underneath the map here. Get used to these controls, not used to the mod yet. We know that we are going to send Super Conks and Sturv along this hill. We're sending a light to scout up here. 30B is sending up to 4F0 area. Centurion Action X is taking the middle of the hill at J3 with 279E, and it should be the IS-7 on the left, and the other guys 277s on the right. Already going to their RD locations, because who cares where RD goes, right? Right at the start, we have got very, very good quick timing. No HP was lost. The Sturvs didn't lose anything, or the scouts got there quick enough. Everything's good. By the way, Duke gave me this replay because I was not in the center of the map. So if you guys would see, I would not be able to see the 1-2 line because I can only see what's inside the render range here. I can't see the outside. For instance, that EBR is lit, but I cannot see him because he is outside of Duke's draw distance. Okay, right at the start, Artie gets lit instantly. JT does a very excellent job of lighting those guys. Artie is lit. Danny fires and takes it out like a god. JT's falling back at this time because he knows that there's a lot of guys here. So I take note of this as well. I wait a little extra to cover his fire because JT is running and I know he needs some cover fire. Now I see that this IS-7 right here is lit. I don't call for Duke 2, but later on I'm going to call for Duke to come up over into here and to take up this position with that IS-7 because we know that a light and a brawl cannot win against a heavy unless they pull off some amazing stuff. And we know that these guys are starting to come through here. So I move the Super Conks, which would be Sliver and Dust Bucket, who's over here. I move them over into this position right here. The reason is because one, it allows fire along the ridge line through here and anything comes through here, and it stops them from pushing here. Because they could push through here, and these guys in the back wouldn't be able to hit once they move over to here. They wouldn't be able to hit. So I'm calling for the Super Conks to move. I want Marty back here, and I want the Dust Bucket and Sliver down in this bottom area. Let's see, at the same time, have I called for Duke to move yet? It looks like Duke's moving, so I think I've called for Duke to move up to the center. There's Duke. Yep, he's moving up to the center. He's going to go place out that IS-7, and once he gets through there, Toll is going to move back. Now, one thing you guys should know, Toll is doing an excellent job. He's in the middle. Most people tend to shoot at this edge because that's where most scouts sit because it's easy cover. Toll is in the middle, so if he gets Artie'd, Artie's probably going to shoot right here. He's going to take less damage, and he's going to take less hits. JT is in the back trying to get a few lights while he can. There's not much he can do because we've moved back and we fell back. I have moved up into the position up on this hill to try to hit some of these guys. I know I make a few misses, but it's a 30B. Hey, what can you do? Now, one thing I will say, Dust Bucket took so long, and instead of come over, turn towards the left, or the right, my bad, with Sliver, he starts to head towards with Marty. And Dust Bucket, whenever he came through here, he backed up through here, turned around way back here, and he just took so long. He could have possibly taken a shot from one of these guys if he got lit. Duke's moving up, and at this time, Toll should have realized my spot is now considered useless in a way because we've got Duke here, so he should have fell back, but I do call for him to fall back and light the O-line for me. Where is JT? Let's see if can we find JT here. I think JT's back up in the hill, back here with the 30B and the Sturvs. I think at this time, if JT wanted to, he probably could have snuck up over to this middle rock earlier, lighting up these guys here, telling us that they were there. But it doesn't hurt to have an extra gun over here. It's hiding. It's an autoloader. It's a 105. Now Toll House is moving back. Toll House should have went down into the dip all the way before he turned, because now he has a chance of possibly getting lit if there would be an EBR in that bush, and then he could have got peppered. Sliver covering, watching, trying to look to see if he can get anything as Toll House moves. Now what Toll House was getting ready to do here is you notice he just took a sharp turn and he continued to go. He was going to run through here because I told him to go up to this hill. He was going to take the quickest route. Knowing we have guys here, the smart thing would do is to come along far back, try to get as much of their draw distance put in this hill where they can't light unless they're up, and running the line all the way up to get up into here and proxy lighting these guys. Because the only way these guys are going to get lit is through proxy light or the guy here, because Tollhouse can see him. Because they've got this hill covering them. Tollhouse now, after I told him, realized what he was doing, caught it early enough. He moves down the O line. We can no longer see him because Duke's in the middle and he's at the draw distance, but we will see him once he gets over to here. Now at this time, EBR is lit and nobody fires, but it's an EBR. He's able to back out real quick. We do know his location now. Now it's just a waiting game till we can get Toll into his position. It's patience and waiting. Alright, there's Toll. He's got into his bush. Now Toll knows he's lit. Toll continues to stay there. The only way he lit this was proxy lit. The only way. I know I told Toll to fall back because he's going to get hit. Alright, looks like he got hit by an EBR. I thought it was Artie, but it was an EBR. If Toll would have backed up, he wouldn't have taken that shot from the EBR, who was going to be lit up here pretty soon, right up over in here. We're still patiently waiting. Toll's backing up. Trying to get away. Now Toll's going back to his spot. Lights it again. It's by proxy. We know it's by proxy. Toll's still staying in the bush. Now Toll reacts and realizes, okay, I'm lit. I need to get back a little bit. EBR comes up. I in the 30B fire at the EBR, hit it, but it's still alive. This is another thing that hurts us. Danny misses an Artie. This gun, it's still a gun that's still in the game, and he gets away. JT's coming up and attempting, it looks like, to try to get after him, but he'll end up lighting more tanks. So JT ends up lighting him. Yep, we can see that they are on full retreat. These guys are starting to back up. So at this time, I'd already called for the 277s to move up the middle. Surge is here alone. IS-7's a straggler. It makes sense. It's a slower tank. But we have still got Logit over here. Logit is still over here, aiming his gun, and Surge is already by Duke. That would have been 2 guns over here quicker to react, with these guys still split way down here. Instead, we have to wait for this 277 to come over because we know they're going to be outnumbered, and the Duke and Logit, if we push now, would just waste all their HP. It wouldn't hurt to wait for an IS-7. It would not. This one gun. But we can't push because there's only 2 here. Instead of it would be 3 if Logit would have realized that the call for the 277 is supposed to move up the middle. Now he realizes, he heard, again, because I'd called for it, he now moves over. An IS-7 beat a 277 somehow to the middle. I don't know how it happened, but it happened, and it's just because a call wasn't listened to. Once Logit gets a certain distance around here, I just say push, because these guys are now getting, look how far back they are. Look at that separate. Look at how far back they got. I moved in 30B, I'm going to be moving through here. I tell the Superconks to go this direction, pushing down, following them behind as quick as we can, because the Superconks are slower to 260. Tanks are moving up in the middle. Logit is just lagging behind. Marty starts to go follow the Superconks, but he turns around. I don't know what Marty is doing here. He could have even went up into the ridge, at least had his gun useful, but Marty goes back into the back. While Bronco's got shots, Marty's got nothing. Marty should have been with his Superconks. He at least could have been up into here by now, at least close behind them. But he's in the back, jerking his gherkin. Now the EBR is trying to get sneaky shots in, and you can see it. He's still alive. He's still a gun that's in the fight. And we just would have taken him out. Artie's lit. Artie has been damaged. Artie is here by this train track. Artie's running, because Artie is lit. Artie realizes he is lit, so he is running, and he is still lit, and he is still alive. There are guns shooting these tanks in the middle, but they're not getting Artied because Artie is lit and Artie is running. Our Artie misses. Artie continues to go. Unscathed. Undamaged. And is unlit. Artie is still alive. Duke gets a lucky ammo rack. Very lucky ammo rack. Now, we can see in this situation here, I am in my 30B, and I'm trying to help out take out this 260. My mistake I came up and instantly went into the gunfire of the 260 in a 30B. I tried to brawl against a 260 and a 30B, and I took a damage. I took a shot, and I shouldn't have. I should have went wide over here, where we knew the EBR was in the back because he had relocated. I should have went wide, come over into here because I wouldn't be shot by the EBR, but I could have helped assisted the 277s with this 430U. I could have done so much better if I would have just let the super conks take that out and me move my tank down. That was a mistake I made. I was so into seeing where everybody else... It's hard to read the map, and I wanted to take out that gun, but patience didn't work out. I got greedy. I took a lot of HP damage. Now look, Duke and Surge getting hit by Artie, who is still alive, because Artie was lit and not... he wasn't killed. We missed our chance. Now, I am over here. I am still staying here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to brawl against the 430U. If I'd get at this angle, I could turn his turret more, and the super conks could have come up and taken up that opportunity and taken him out. I mean, the 907 into the back, we're shooting him, but we're missing. Duke is trying his best, and the heavies are trying their best. Look at all the guns that are here. Now, here's a mistake that I'm going to point out that was made. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tanks we know. There's a 907 back here. That leaves 4, 5, 6, 7. We know where everybody is. We know the location of everybody. That means Artie, who we know is over in here. Marty moves up. Bronco could have moved up beside him, but Bronco stays back. Marty, who could have been with the 277, are the super conks over here, possibly allowing me to get up into this area because he could have joined me over into here, providing cover fire as I move across. But Marty's down here, and Bronco goes wide. They realize this. Look at this 907's direction. They realize that there's guys coming around their flank, and they can't allow them. It's 2 guys versus 3 now. It could have been 1 versus 3 with Marty over there saving his HP, and then we could have realized that their guns were off, and we could have possibly done a push onto these guys and taken them out with the super conks. But that didn't happen. Now I am finally relocated in my 30B. 907 comes over. Bronco's moving to the edge. Marty's taking a shot. Bronco's still not in position. If Bronco would have already either at least been over here already, but Bronco took time to just sit and wait. Marty took another shot. Bronco's still not in position. Bronco's finally in position, but he takes a shot because they see him moving past. If he'd already been there, that super conk probably would have moved up as far as he would have, and the 907 might have stayed back, not wanting to get hit. Now it's 3 onto 2. JT moves up into the center to cause a distraction. Looks like he decides to take out the T95 instead. But this T95 snapshots him, and JT, was it worth it? Was it worth it? We waited 2 seconds longer for this 95 to come over here and try to react with the other 2. Now Bronco's in a 2-on-1 engagement over here, all alone. The heavies are still trying their best to hold off as long as they can. Bronco's in a 2-on-1 engagement. Bronco fires to the 907. We're waiting. Now the super conk's lit. The smart thing would do is to hit the lowest HP, because the lowest HP, the lower they are, the better chance you have of hitting out your gun. Most tanks are going to take 2 shots to take this out, and it's going to take 3 shots to 4 shots to take out this 907. Bronco doesn't realize this because he's so focused on the 907, he shoots the 907 instead of the super conk, either possibly high rolling, taking out the gun, or injuring it to a 1 shot, allowing everybody to easily take it out, or already just to splash near it and sneeze and take it out. Another thing I'd like to point out, Gunman sees that these guys are getting pushed on, but Gunman is so focused on these 2 here, who we know they're not going to poke. We know that they're not going to poke, and I can't see what's going on. I'm all the way across the map. I'm trying to call. I can't see what's happening here. We know that they're not going to. They know that there's a stirve here. So Gunman could have relocated up into here. And if Gunman would have been over into here, he possibly could have hit one of them as they were coming and moving on to Bronco. And he could have taken out this super conk. Especially if Bronco would have shot that super conk. And that would have been another gun out in the field, putting it back into towards our favor. And the 907 with the DPM of the stirve could have taken... He could have been taken out, leaving the EBR alone. Him to try to brawl his best, which he probably would have lost, because it's an EBR. But that didn't happen. Now, there's one thing you'll notice up here. I'm in my 30B. I'm a 1-shot. I don't know why I didn't count to 10. I poked up. I took a shot from this 430U when I shouldn't have. I should have went unlit, poked up, used this bush, fired, then backed up instantly. I wouldn't have been lit. But I got greedy because I wanted to take it out real quick. I load HE, take him out. Notice he's 95 HE. Instead of taking the chance of me loading heat or APCR and not penetrating, I decided to not take it all, and I loaded EG to eliminate the gun. Sometimes HE shells, knowing your shell types, are really important too, guys. Alright, so this 295, 260, we're just losing tanks one by one by one. I don't know what's going on here. I know Dust Bucket said he was getting shot by a 907, but instead of moving up into here to get into cover, he goes far away where his gun is no longer useful to these heavies. He goes down here into the middle where we can't see, because he's out of the range, the circle range. This super conk, look where he's at. He's moving over to try to get hit shots into our heavies who are over here. He's making his way through. EBR takes out Artie because Gunman wasn't in his position. Artie wasn't able to get an extra shot off. That extra shot Artie could have taken off could have saved somebody's life. Gunman is tracked, getting shot by EBR. Drag is trying his best to be hero mode. Now, if you guys notice, earlier in the match, Drag was down over in here. I didn't call for Drag to fall back. Drag fell back himself. Sometimes knowing when to fall back, because the caller's busy. He's watching his tank. He's trying to play his tank. He's trying to read the map. Can't micromanage everybody. Sometimes we're trying to micromanage everybody, or some people who, because we might know something that they won't know, because we can see it in our mind. But I didn't have to call for Drag to go back. Drag did this on his own. Drag is trying his best to save Gunman. Drag shoots, and I know he gets a penetration over in here. Yep, there we go, but it didn't go. Gunman's thing's finally fixed, and he gets taken out. Drag is trying his best to take out the EBR. Danny hits the EBR. EBR uses his medkit. We know he's down at medkit, and Drag takes it out. And I love the animation of the wheeled vehicles doing those flips. Alright. Dust Bucket. If he would have been up over into here, this T95 or this 260 probably wouldn't have risked what they were doing. He could have used one of these rocks as cover and this hillside as cover. From this, you got this rock here to protect you from the 907 that's in the back. You've got this rock here that will protect you from the 260 as he's over here in the 95. And you've also got an extra gun pointing and looking at these two 277s who were alive in the middle. He's now getting rushed because Dust Bucket was down in the middle. He notices down in the dip over here. He notices there's nothing. Dust Bucket gets shot in. But instead of backing off, he's still up here. Now he's backing, but he takes a shot. I noticed he would start getting ready to pull forward. I know the Super Conks guy did good DPM, but sometimes going invisible and poking back up when you know that there's only 3 of you alive, it's worth it. You have got the advantage in this situation. You've got the armor. And he gets taken out by the Super Conk, who's all the way across the field because he got tracked. He got perma-tracked out in the open because he tried to pull forward instead of backing up as soon as he shot. Drag goes hero mode and does his best. He tries. Yeah, you know, it's Dukes in chat saying we lost because Artie was not killed. I don't think that was one of the reasons. I can see many mistakes. People just didn't listen completely. But yes, I will agree. Artie was another big thing. It's about 1,000 to 2,000 HP that we probably could have saved if Artie would have been taken out when he was lit. Bog saying RNG. Danny fires, blind fires, and he misses. If he would have held off that shot, he probably could have, maybe, I don't know. Maybe taken out that 260. Drag's trying his best. Drag's the only one lit. He's the only one lit. He's going to get RD'd in 3, 2, 1. And I'm a little early, but it's going to come. There's the RD. He's stunned for 22 seconds, uses the med kit. Drag will end up taking out this 907, who probably could have been dead if we would have moved and thought about it ahead of time. And he's dead. 4 versus 1, I'm going to call it, because Artie doesn't count in this situation. Alright, Drag gets tracked. Danny fires and misses. Artie in close range sucks. It's terrible. And then Drag gets taken out. All of this could have been saved. Every single bit could have been saved if Marty would have followed the Super Conks. Bronco would have come over here alone, dragging 3 guns away. Gunmen move over here to help support Bronco. I, in my 30B, coming over to here, and with Marty's help, if Marty would have been here, I could have moved up over into this situation. All of this could have been solved. And we lost a 6-tank lead because of silly mistakes. Let's also not forget to mention the 277 who dragged along and we couldn't push as early. While they were over in here, we couldn't push onto them, which allowed them to get more guns to fire in on our heavies in the center. Heavies in the center did a good job when they were there. We just took forever to listen to the call. All I can say is, guys, keep your ears open. And if you don't know what you're doing, ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. It never hurts to ask, because the worst we could say is, you're wrong, or no, I don't want you to do that. Stay where you're at. It never hurts to do a suggestion. Another thing. Shoot, forgot what I was going to say. Always keep aware what's around you. If you have a buddy 277, 5A, or 279E, you know that those tanks are going to still stay together. They have perform a similar role. If you see the mass majority of them moving, follow, unless you were told not to, and you have a specific role that you're supposed to pull. Follow it. Keep an eye around you, and keep situational awareness is extremely important. Don't look at what you're just shooting at. Look at your teammates who are around you so you can cover their fire, and keep an eye on everything. I hope this guys helps you all. And I'm sorry this video took a lot longer than what I thought, but 21 minutes, hey. See you guys in Clan Wars.